Dawgs on the Run. If you're awake this morning or you're going to work this morning, you stayed up late. Why did you stay up late last night to watch that? He's Pierre Woods. I'm Andy Baskin. We're going to go to Kenny Rhoda in the KennyRhoda.com studios in a few moments here. Browns' heartbreaking loss yesterday, 33-27. Will Hill returns a kick for 64 yards, a block kick from Travis Coons. Still trying to figure out what the Browns were doing at the end of the game. A lot of question marks. Who will start at quarterback on Sunday? Does it really matter? Was it good that they lost because it keeps them a little bit higher up in the draft order? So many, many questions. Pierre, your initial thoughts on yesterday's game?
At the end, it was just terrible. It was horrible at the end. That's all I know.
What's it feel like when you're on the field and you got to, especially playing special teams? Were you ever on special teams where you had a kick?
Yes, yes, I was, but not a field goal blocked.
Okay.
You take a lot more pride in that. You got to anchor down and play a lot harder. That's to win the game as well.
All right, what's that sinking feeling like? I guess is probably the best way to put it.
Oh, man, it sucks. Like, you have that taste in your mouth for a long time, especially if that's the last game of the season or something.
Yeah, well, that's not the last game of the season because we still watch more of these.
It's almost like the last game of the season with them.
All right, let's wake up Kenny Rhoda. Hey, Kenny, how are you?
Still trying to figure out what the hell happened last night as I watched that game and saw the Browns have an opportunity to win the game. You go from possible elation of Travis Coons, who had not missed a field goal in his career. This is first season with the Browns, and his first miss is an epic one. It's blocked, and I don't know, Pierre, you tell me. I've never been on a field goal block team, okay, as I'm blocking for a field goal, but I saw two rookies, Shelton and Irving, next to each other get totally blown up along with Mitchell Schwartz, who ended up on his ass. He got steamrolled. And that's where that block occurred, and they return it. They get the kick six and return it for a touchdown to lose the game. So the Browns just they find ways of snatching defeat from the jaws of victory in so many different ways. It almost leaves you speechless.
Kenny, I'm sitting here this morning, and I'm like, I just can't remember, other than, we saw the Michigan State game this year on a punt. But I'm just trying to think of the last time I can remember watching a field goal end a game like that where the Browns really had control. And I thought, you know what, they're going to win this game, except for the fact they left themselves a long field goal. And I think you're still hesitant at 51 yards on whether they're going to make it. It's almost like, okay, if they miss it, I can live with that when we're going to overtime. But right. I was laughing. I was just laughing because I can't script this stuff. You can't make this up. You got a team that looks halfway decent. You've got a quarterback that started the game, that was your starting quarterback, that was taken out. You put your other guy in, then he screws up off the field, so he's not going to play. McCown, I was listening to Kevin Kiley on the way in. If he was a horse, would you shoot him just to feel better? I mean, the guy deserves it, doesn't he? He gives you everything he has, and I just want to put him out of his misery. I feel that bad for him.
Here's the thing that also you think about. I was listening to Pettin and reading about the post-game press conference about what happened with Austin Davis in those last few seconds there. And I guess his helmet, microphone, and audio system went out. Again. And so, therefore, he was trying to hear the play call coming in. He couldn't hear it. Pierre, tell me, that's supposed to happen to the opposing team, right? Like in New England when you all cheated up there, you made sure the other team couldn't get the signal in and hear what the play call was. They cheat the right way in New England. You're not supposed to do it at home.
Kenny, this is the one thing that everybody has to remember. Like when you in practice, regardless if you got a play call and with the signal, with the little thing in the ear from the helmet, you still have signals. And that's always been key in football. So if that ever goes out, you have some signals, some type of signal callers. But they didn't have any signal callers. And also, Davis, he hasn't been there that long, but you run a play that you know that will work faster than anything. You got at least 5 plays that you know that works, that you can run.
Yeah, but you're talking about a quarterback that's never taken a snap for the Browns before.
I'm saying, I'm pretty sure they gave him okay, if you ever have to go in case of emergency,
right,
these are plays that you can run that are safe plays. 5 plays.
One back through the 4-hole, whatever, 5-hole.
Yeah, something.
Kenny, let's just kind of look at the history.
But we didn't cheat in New England either, brother.
Yeah, come on now.
Let you know.
You guys gonna throw?
Flygate.
It's okay. I owe you some drinks. You're gonna get your drinks. But Spygate my tail. At the end of the day, you win, you play, and that's what we did. They can say what they want to say. We whooped some ass. How about that?
All right.
Well, you always have your doubters outside of New England and plenty of NFL players as well.
It's not wearing my keys. I'm just representing for the Indians, man. I feel bad for the Browns right now. I don't have a Cavaliers thing, so, I'm just this season over with, man.
Season is over with. 216-431-3820. Call in. You can Skype in. Waiting on the Skype lines. We've got a couple folks that are standing by. Randy, the great Randy, we can hear today, but we can't see. Randy, say hello.
Hey.
I don't know. Do we even hear him on that?
We good?
Yeah, I guess so. Randy, do we have anything on tap for the show, or are we just going to swing by the seat of our pants?
Very little preparation for this program.
This is a Preparation 8 show. We haven't done much at all on this show.
It's okay. As long as Tubby Dog doesn't call in talking trash to me.
We'll see. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how many people are regulars call in today because it is a Tuesday edition rather than a Monday edition. And I think a lot of people that stayed up late last night are worried. Hey, just curious, Kenny, what did you think of Austin Davis last night?
I thought Austin Davis looked decent last night, coming in cold like that, and you weren't expecting him to play yesterday, and yet he gets thrown into the mix. The touchdown pass, it was a good read, nice throw to Travis Benjamin. He leads him down the field. It wasn't the most beautiful setup for a game-winning field goal, but still he made a couple of throws there to get him in position to at least attempt a field goal. You look around the league, Justin Tucker, he's hit how many 50-yard game-winning field goals? I think 3 this season, or at least 2 or 3 this season. So other teams have done that. So I thought Davis did his job for the most part, with the exception of the last few seconds where they were having trouble getting the play in or whatever. So I thought he looked halfway decent.
Who starts on Sunday? Who do you start at quarterback?
Let's just, please, let's just leave Josh McCown on the bench and let him recover from these injuries. He's taken so many hits, gutsy effort. So let's take him out of the equation, all right? Because that guy's been, I haven't seen a quarterback get beat up that bad for the Browns since Tim Couch was here. All right, so just let him sit out. Now, you look at the 2 guys you have to pick from. You've got Austin Davis, who came in, did a nice job yesterday, and you've got Johnny Manziel. Can Austin Davis do that and maybe better if he has a full week of practice taking the reps with the first team? Do you want to see if he can do that? I think John DiFilippo said they've seen enough to know what they have in Johnny Manziel. I have not, but do you want to continue to send the message to Manziel that he needs to straighten up, or a guy like Austin Davis can take his job? So if it were me, I'd give Austin Davis the start. You've already started Johnny. You've already started McCown. Why not give Austin Davis the start? You're 2-9, and you're battling for the worst record in the league. Give Austin Davis a chance. Maybe he's a guy that you look to for the future.
What do you do?
I agree. Give it to Austin Davis because Johnny had a shot. You gave him the shot. He told the coach, I'm not going to do anything stupid. I'm not going to do anything wrong. And what did he go out there and do? He had some Dom Perignon in his hand. He was partying, and he lost the starting job.
I was interested. We had Jamal White on Sports Sunday, and he was just like, you know what? And I tend to agree with Jamal when he says this. Look, if I were Mike Pettin, I would have did the same thing. He absolutely violated his trust. There's got to be some kind of repercussion for what he did.
They just suspended him.
Yeah, well, that's basically what they did, didn't you? You really, if you're taking a starting job away from a guy, you've got a quarterback. Listen, I think they had to keep him on the roster because of what we saw from Josh McCown. I think everyone saw that coming. So they had to have him active last night. They had to have Johnny active. Although we did a poll on the radio yesterday, it was like 4-1 thought that he would not be active, that Johnny wouldn't be active last night. And so I understand in case of necessity, they needed to have him on the roster last night. But that's about it. And look, how does that play in the locker room? The whole, I don't think anyone wants to answer questions about Johnny.
To me, it's disrespectful to guys that are veterans, like a Dwayne Bowe, for instance. Like, I know he hasn't played.
Right.
But you got Marlon Moore, who's not making $9 million off a 1-year guaranteed. He caught a touchdown last night.
Played his ass off last night.
Right.
He plays his ass off all the time.
All the time. So give him $9 million, or put Dwayne Bowe out there. Make Johnny an example. Like, don't dress him. Like, he'd have been up in the doggone stands with Belichick, bro. I'm telling you. Bill would have been like, either that or we're going to cut your ass. One of the two.
Kenny, what are you doing with Johnny Manziel? Where are we with this thing? No.
It's such a quandary right now because they wasted a first-round draft pick on him. They're paying him decent salary. I'm sure they would like to try and get something for him in the offseason if they could make a trade. So I think in these, remaining 5 games, you're probably going to see him again at some point just to try and drive up maybe his trade value, because if you cut him, then you don't get anything in return, whether it's a 7th-round pick, a 6th-round pick, and good organizations can make those picks matter. So instead of just cutting him, I think you'll probably see him again this season just to try and raise his value in hopes that he can go out there and make some plays, put something on film that somebody out there might want to take a shot at him. I understand where Pierre's coming from. I'm with him. I'd have just cut his ass. But I'm thinking along the lines of Ray Farmer, the general manager who drafted him, Jimmy Haslam, who got the information from the bum on the street to tell Ray Farmer to draft him. They don't just want to give up on him and get nothing for him.
You're not going to get anything for him. I mean, like, he's devalued himself, plain and simple. You can put him out there for 5 more games, 6 more games, 7 more games. He can go out there and perform. I mean, if he goes to a big market where he can party all the time, like New York or like out in LA somewhere or California, he's devalued himself, plain and simple. Or if he goes back down to Texas, it's really over. He thinks he's the man as is. So now you have that guy who is on the sideline, who distracts the team, who just messes everything up. But at the end of the day, the players play, and those guys got blown up on a field goal block, which should not have happened. And if it did, still, some way, somehow, some player should have been able to turn back and block.
We're not even streaming? I mean, I don't care. If we're not streaming right now? Is that what's going on? Randy, what's the deal?
We're not streaming.
Are we taping for podcast? Are we even doing that? You were talking about the iPad? Yeah, iPad's just Periscope. iPeriscope. Where's Faith?
So we're doing this for essentially no.
Oh, we're just doing this so we can talk to Kenny and we can have fun with the 3 of us?
Yep.
Why don't we just regroup then? Are we taping for podcast? That's the question. Can someone find that out? Are we taping this for a restream?
This is crazy.
Kenny, how's your family? How are things going?
Life is good, my friend. I'm keeping busy with 2 teams in Stark County in the state championship game this Friday for us. We've got the Perry Panthers in Perry Township in Stark County, and we've got Canton Central Catholic in Division 5, back-to-back years playing for a state championship. So on the work side, things are good. Family side, things are good, so I can't complain.
How's your radio show going? I'm just curious. I mean, compared to what you're doing, have you changed anything up a little bit compared? Because it's hard for me to listen to your show down here. Up here.
You know what? Less callers on the show in Canton.
Right.
So it's more guest-driven. We had Pierre on last week talking Ohio State and Michigan, and we had Leroy Horde on talking Ohio State, Michigan, along with Justin Zwick. He joined us, Tim Anderson. So it's more guest-driven, and then we mix in the callers and a lot of high school football stuff down there. It's huge in Stark County.
Did you play against Tim Anderson?
Yeah, I did.
Kenny, do you remember when he first came to Ohio State, he was like this gigantic project?
Yeah.
And then by the time he left, I mean, he was a beast.
D-tackle.
That kid was a beast by the time he left. As I remember
National
watching his high
champion,
school
real good
videos.
guest too. If you want to get him on your show to talk Buckeyes, he was really good too.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. That'd be awesome. I wish we did a Buckeye Dog on the Run every week. I think that'd be a blast. I would love to do that. As long as we're streaming. Like, we're not even streaming right now, so what's the big deal?
Well,
this is the best phone call, most expensive phone call in the history of podcasting.
I didn't do it. Mike Pettin, no, I didn't blame this on Ray Farmer. This one's on Ray.
You're blaming last night's game on Ray?
I'm blaming this on Ray.
Who are you blaming, Kenny?
Last night?
Yeah.
Wow.
The offensive line.
I mean, the defense, this is the 4th consecutive game. Now, granted, 2 of the touchdowns
hang on one second. Randy, why don't you come on?
Right?
Breaking news.
So
breaking
I guess
news.
if you wanted to pick it, special teams, they gave up the punt return, and then they gave up the kick 6. So if I'm picking anybody last night, I'm gonna blame this one on Chris Tabor and the special teams units, because 2 of his units failed miserably.
I mean, are you really blaming Chris? Like, I had a guy wanting to fight me after the game last night.
That guy
What?
did not want to fight you.
I'm telling you, ask the people.
That story-
Wait till you hear the radio.
See,
wait till we
this
do
is
this on the radio.
where you need to have me with you sometime. See?
What, right after the
Here,
game?
this guy was a 75-year-old man.
I don't care.
No, it wasn't. There's a guy in his 60s
Why do you
And
want
I
to
was
punch
walking
you?
back out on the field last night. Hang on, can we just find out if we're rolling so we can have
No,
this as a... We're not even rolling for podcast.
We're rolling. I don't even know what that. Faith apparently.
Well, okay, so here's what happens. We record this, and then we can rerun it on the web, even if it's done.
I didn't think we're doing that. It's up on YouTube.
Oh,
And
okay.
there's-
Okay, so I can say.
so we're on YouTube.
I can say something, right?
Oh, go. Yeah, go.
Kenny, OH.
I know. There you go.
There it is.
Oh, the live stream's back.
Oh, great. Yeah, we're back on the
They
live stream.
killing me, Kenny.
Back in business.
Oh man. Dang.
All right,
Really?
if you're just joining us, this
gonna
is
fight.
Dogs on the Run. We're glad you're with us. We decided to get the stream up going, I don't know, 19 minutes late, even though we've been doing the show for 19 minutes. Kenny, I
We're
got to
having
tell
trouble
you,
with our
Kenny Rota's
headsets.
been
We
with us.
couldn't get all the information in time to get it started.
Kenny, this is the best show I think you've ever had, and I can't believe it. Anyone has seen this. I mean, seriously, I think this was an Emmy for you. I felt real strong about it.
It ended up on the cutting room floor like a lot of actors' debuts and things like that, right?
One day we'll come back and we'll talk about this great moment in WEWS history. What, Randy?
So what is the radio equivalent to like an Emmy? What do you get?
What's the radio Marconi, isn't it? Right, Kenny? The radio equivalent to an Emmy.
I believe it would be the Marconi.
The Marconi, yes.
You never finish your story with the guy who wanted to fight you.
Oh, all right. So let me, if you're just joining us, because this is probably the most exciting part of a game where the Browns, it's laughable. So after the game,
Time for a break.
there's an area, there's the Browns locker room, and then there's the tunnel where they run out, where I think, everyone gets to see it. And then they have these fences up so the media stands, so the players can walk in the locker room. Well, this year they have a new club. Is it 64 or 46? I can't remember.
46.
Club 46. And they built a bar directly across the door from where the Browns players go out. Kenny, have you seen this yet?
I have not.
Okay, it's actually kind of cool. And it's definitely Dallas style. Like,
Right.
if you go to Dallas, you go to Jerry World down there, they have the same exact thing.
This was a sweet old man after.
Oh, God, give me a break, dude. Sweet old man.
It's the same guy that we're talking about.
Yeah, he had calmed down a lot after where you saw him. But this guy was a teacher.
He was liquored up, huh?
He was hammered. So
Just like Johnny.
there's a fence, and I've got to go back out on the field because I do a thing with Nathan Zegura for ClevelandBrowns.com. So I'm going to just kind of sneak through the fence, run back out on the field. I've got the credential. They let you right through. As I'm walking through, this guy's like, "Hey,
Andy.
hey!" I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" And he's like, "I got to tell you something." He's like, the other thing is that when someone's drunk, personal space is gone. And that's like the worst part of it, right? So now he's all up in your...
And he was spitting in your
tongue.
face. He was giving you a little
no,
shower.
he wasn't spitting. So anyway, so now he's talking to me, and I'm looking at this guy, and I'm like, he's a guy who was in shape.
He was not in shape.
Oh, stop, Randy! I don't know what world you're living in. The guy was a former gym teacher.
He got glasses.
What?
The old guy with glasses.
The old guy with glasses. He was in decent shape for his old. I mean, he was 60s, early 60s probably.
He's not gonna.
Well, let me see. Hang on a second. If he was at the championship, he said, wait, 64. So let's say he was 20 and 64, 30 and 74, 40 and 84. Where am I going? 94, 40, 04, 50, 14, 60. He was 20-ish, right?
So he's 87, 80.
All right, so he was young. So anyways, he went to the game. He was in 64. He went to the game. So anyways, I'm walking by him. This guy's all in my SH. You know what I'm talking about. And then he looks at me and he's like, I was at the 64 game. I've been to 5 or 6 games since then. See this ticket? I never come down here because they always lose when I come down here. I'm done coming down here. I've been here. 64, I was here. I was here for Red Right 88. I was here for this and that and that. And then smartass Andy Baskin looks at me and goes, hey, man, that is a great resume. Outstanding. I don't know if you listen. On the radio show, we do that all the time. Like if Pierre would call in and go like, yeah, this is Pierre. I played pro ball. I played high-level high school. Played in some big games, blah, blah, blah. I would say, nice resume.
Right.
I mean, it's just, I don't know. Kenny, let me ask you, and as I finish the story, Kenny, why do callers feel like they have to give you their freaking resume every time they call? What, to justify that this is why they picked up the phone to call us?
They want you to know that they have suffered more misery than you, how far they go back, and that they experienced what it was like to win, and now they're suffering the misery, and it's not fair to them because they know what it takes to win, and this, the rest of us don't understand what that's like.
Okay, so now let's pick it up there. The guy's giving me his resume, and he's just like, and he's all over, and now everyone's looking because he's talking so loud. Like, media's starting to look, some of the players are walking in, and now he is yelling at me. You ask Mike Pettin this. You have got to ask Mike Pettin this. And I'm like, dude, we ask him, and it's not just me, it's the entire media. You guys need to ask Mike Pettin this. And I'm like, dude, what do you want from me? I'm walking out on the field. I go, I didn't play in the game. I go, would I have let them block that kick? No, there's no way. Because, of course, I'm a, 26-star athlete that could never made it to the varsity football team, played 1 year of freshman because I wanted to play hockey. Because that's the kind of guy I am. I should have ran out on the field.
I didn't know it was 26 stars, though.
Oh, 26.
That's
yeah,
impressive,
26
man.
star.
Oh, okay. That's
5-star recruit.
Yeah.
Yeah, not me. I was 26.
You the man.
Thank you. Anyways, so this guy's yelling and screaming at me, and then I'm like, I gotta go. You're not asking the right questions. You're not doing this. I'm like, dude, I gotta walk out there. And now he's like grabbing my arm, and I'm like, I gotta go. And then he's screaming, and everyone in the media is looking at me.
So that's a man violation.
And then I turn over, and I'm just like, I gotta go. And he's starting to swear, and he's yelling at me. I'm like, where's security? Anybody know where security is around here? So I walk back out. We go back in. Then we come back, and then Randy, gentle Randy over here. So Kenny, the last thing you want, the last thing I want to do is have somebody PO'd at me the whole time and think, oh, Andy Baskin's a total asshole. Oh, excuse me, well, it's this show anyways, doesn't matter. He's a total ass, and it's just like, come on. So I walked back over, I talked to the guy, said, hey, man, no hard feelings. And but he goes, I don't care. And then he goes through this whole thing about how he was a teacher and that he was allowed to go over to the facility when Forrest Gregg was here and blah, 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 blah. And so all these guys are laughing. All these people are tweeting back at me. And it's just, the story, I didn't kill the story on the air
So basically.
This old man wanted to fight me last night. And then he's getting all mad. He's just like, hey, here's the deal. And why don't they fire? He was all over Tabor. He was all over. They need to fire him. Fire him right now. I'm like, look, I understand it was a bad play. It was one bad play at the end of the game. It cost them the game in the end. We probably would have went to overtime. Chris is probably, and I know you were talking about Kenny, Chris is probably the only respected coach across the league with a history on this team. I mean, every time they change the coaching staff, his contract is always put back into place where he has to. I know for a fact that when they brought in Chud, I had heard that he had like 4 or 5 different offers to leave, and Chud and their staff wouldn't let him go. And then go ahead, and then Pettin, they wouldn't let him go either. And I've watched Chris in training camp. He's the kind of guy you want to play for. He's a motivator. He's not. I mean, I really think he's a good coach. They got beat on that last play last night, and you're right, Kenny. I mean, they deserve to take some of the blame because they lost on special teams. But of all the coaches on that team, he's the one guy that truly has the respect of his players. People listen to him, and they want to execute on special teams. Josh Cribbs talked about him all the time, too. So this guy's like all over. I'm like, take a step back here, drunk guy. Relax for a second. I go, it's not the coach's fault. He's not the one who's executing. He puts the game plan together. I'm sure that Chris would have loved to have had another 10 or 15 yards downfield to try to make that field goal a little bit easier.
The players got to have a lot more pride in what they do and how they do it. You know what I'm saying? To have 2 first-rounders and a veteran get blown up like that against a team that wasn't coming off a bye, and we are, like, you're too fresh to get blown up, plain and simple. You got to play a lot harder. You want to win games, not lose games, and make yourself look that much worse. Now, Baltimore what have they really done? Nothing, but they beat us.
In fact, I think they're in better shape because they lost because you keep yourself towards the top pick. That was the reality. That was the laugher at the end of it because I don't want this team to lose. But if you're going to lose.
So who are we picking the top pick?
Well,
who we going to go? Joey Bosa?
I'd take Joey Bosa. Why wouldn't you wouldn't take Joey Bosa?
I would take him. I'm just saying, we'll take Joey Bosa, but then what? What is he going to do? He going to be the savior? He going to get all the sacks and everything? Ain't that what we brought Paul in for? And
well, how many sacks did we have last night? None.
And I'm saying,
did we have any sacks
if we get
last
Joey, it ain't like he going to be able to get all the sacks either.
I know. Kenny, your thoughts on all this rambling?
We got George on this.
Yeah, we'll go to George in a second.
Hey guys, I go back last night. I go back to special teams. I'm sorry, the punt return early in the game and the field goal. The first score and the last score of the game. You can't give up 14 points on 13 points because they took a knee. You can't give up 13 points on special teams. You just can't. So if I'm pinning this on one unit or having a scapegoat for this, it's on the special team. Yeah, Travis Coons has been outstanding all season long, but this was the first time he was put in a pressure situation for a long field goal, and the trajectory on it was a little bit low. Having said that, still, Cam Irving, Danny Shelton, Mitchell Schwartz, they got blown up on the left side, and that led to the kick six return. It was kind of like the Iron Bowl when Alabama lost to Auburn on that short field goal. The guy returned it. So, to me, special teams takes most of the blame for this one.
Yeah, you're looking at some of the pictures. If you're listening, you can't see this, but there were some pretty good signs there last night. We still have LeBron was one.
Did you see the one that the one guy put up? It said, let's see if I can put it up here. Hey, Baltimore, can you take this team too?
Yeah,
did you see that one that was up last night? There it is on my phone. I put it up there for you.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good one too.
That's
yeah,
terrible.
again, Randy, how many sacks did we have yesterday? How many sacks? Zero sacks. There's just no reason.
It's sad.
I mean, seriously, that was Baltimore's JV team that was out there last night.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said it's sad. They got a backup quarterback in who, you know what I'm saying, is not their star quarterback. Star quarterback towards ACL. They don't have their number one running back. And you mean to tell me we can't even get to the dog on quarterback?
No. Hey, let's go to George because he's standing by. Hi, George.
Oh, nice.
Sorry we weren't streaming there for you early because I was looking forward to talking to you.
It's okay. Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Kenny
morning,
just
George.
took the words out of my mouth about the special teams. I feel like Alabama with the kick six, or even better yet, that current, that little team up north, beating that team up north, also known as Michigan. So, what else can I fucking say? Really, nothing.
Take me through the emotions.
I rarely blame special teams on the Browns. So this one goes in the Chris Tabor book. And also, it's important. You need to tackle, not grab. Fucking tackle. How hard is it to tackle?
Well, let me ask you this, Pierre, because you're sitting here, and stay on the line, George. Yeah, and I was listening to this. Dustin Fox was talking about it after the game last night. On field goal, you've got your big heavies in there, right?
Right.
I mean, those guys aren't exactly sprinters.
No.
And so if something like that happens, you're in trouble. And that's exactly what happened last night.
But you do have tight ends in there as your wings.
No, that's true.
Now, one thing about tight ends, they block for a hot second. They get the chance to turn. That's why they have more athletic guys as the wings. I played the wing in college all my years in there in special teams. Never got a block. I'm talking about I was going against some good guys. Bob Sanders was probably one of the best guys that you would go against. I blocked against Ed Reed before, who's one of the good skinners. But you come in, you push back out, then you can turn or you pivot back out to make sure if the ball is blocked, so that you can turn and run and get somebody. Now, I was always taught if it is blocked, you can come in and get the ball yourself, or do whatever you have to do, or come in and try to help block those guys that got blown up. Them guys that got blown up, that's ridiculous. My thing is, you had 5 days off, you had time to prepare. They went to sleep on field goal. They thought Baltimore was not going to come, and they got 3 guys got blown up. That's ridiculous. 3 guys. That is freaking ridiculous, especially for somebody from Baltimore who just came off the practice squad, I believe.
It was hurt.
Oh, he was hurt.
For, yeah.
So it doesn't make a difference. The fact of the matter is we got blown up, and that's terrible.
George, what else? What did Snowy say yesterday?
Snowy.
Where is Snowy?
Agony. What else is new? He sat for X amount of weeks on rest and gets his first game, and it's depressing. Now, as for his friend from Columbus, Brutus, sorry.
Hey, George,
I
do you
promised
do little
myself
plays
that I
at
would
home with those
flash him
puppets?
if we beat that team up north. So, sorry, Mr. Woods. I know you're still from Glenville, but this is ecstasy right here.
Why
And it's
are you
also
doing that
nice
to
when
yourself?
it's an
I'm
ass
fine.
kicking.
Oh, okay.
I'm cool.
I'm just making sure.
Oh, yeah.
I know,
No
yeah.
worries.
Hey, George, I'm just curious. Do you ever have the 3 of you, Snowy and Brutus, you guys have pretty good conversations some mornings? Just hang out and talk to each other, maybe drink a cup of coffee or
No, I don't drink coffee. I
glass
drink
of
tea.
juice?
And no, we don't have conversations like that.
Oh,
We
just
just
here.
enjoy the game.
said
Sometimes
we
they shake them up a little bit and get frustrated. Last night after the game, I squeezed Snowy so hard, taking all my frustrations out on that
George, that didn't sound right.
wretched protrude. How does that field go? One kid plays his first game, he gets a blocked field goal, and they end up winning the game. Why the fuck can't that happen to us just once?
Yeah, I'm more intrigued with you choking Snowy. I'm curious.
Here.
Oh. Oh, boy. All right, George, thank you. We appreciate you joining us on a Tuesday version of Dogs on the Run.
No problem. You have a great day.
You too. I'm sure I'll see you on Twitter at some point during the day.
Take care,
and I
George.
think, listen, if George is talking about choking Snowy, there's a serious problem with this
That's
team.
scary.
This Browns team is in some serious trouble.
His wife got him that.
I never thought there was serious trouble, but once you're choking Snowy, you got a big problem.
Snowy's a Build-A-Bear that he was stroking at first, but now he's choking.
Yeah.
This is a family program, first off.
It is? This is your first. By the way, you can't see Randy today.
George says it, not us.
Yeah, it's not us.
Yeah, he's the one who said he was stroking Snowy, now he's choking Snowy.
Yeah, something like that.
Hey, I'm just saying what he said, man. Kenny knows.
Oh, you got Howie? All right, Howie's getting ready. Man, this is more like Hangover Tuesday. Hi, Howie, how are you?
Yeah, man.
Doing wonderful. How are you?
Oh, boy.
What's going on?
Just your thoughts on the game last night.
You got to applaud the creativity. We can fuck up a game in more fashions than almost any team in history. Just terrible line play all around. And like Kenny said, the special teams sucked. I don't know what to say. I think the only way left to lose a game is we'll have Ray Farmer walking around on the sidelines, texting and trying to FaceTime, and he'll back out onto the field and inadvertently trip up our runner trying to score a winning touchdown or something fucked up like that.
Bleacher Report just put out a picture. It said, first, it's a picture of the defensive, just the defense. And it says, first in percentage of cap spent on defense, $62 million totally spent on defense. And the headline is money not well spent. 30th in points allowed per game, 30th in net yards per game allowed, and 32nd against the rush.
Sad.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
The only topper to that is Dwayne Bowe. Now that's money just totally pissed down the drain.
All right, so my question here, and I don't know,
get
maybe,
it to Marlon Moore.
Maybe Kenny, you've got a little more insight on this, and I don't. Is this Dwayne Bowe's fault that he's not playing, or is it Mike Pettine's fault that he's not playing?
I think
It's Ray Farmer's fault.
Yeah.
Because he should have never spent the money on him, and he might have been able to use that $9 million somewhere else. I blame
on
Ray
two
Farmer.
other players.
They're still like way under the cap, though. I mean,
Doesn't
but
make
they
a
still had
difference.
more money to spend.
You
if they
give
wanted
a
to.
guy $9 million to sit on the bench. Where they do that at? Oh, my bad, Cleveland. Oh, sheesh. Wow. Good Lord.
But I mean, we sit here and we crushed Dwayne Bowe on this. Did he come in overweight? It looked like it. And I want to bring up something else.
He looks like a tight end and not a wide receiver.
Yeah, I agree with you. He does look more like a tight end than a wide receiver. But still,
So
at
use him
6'2" on fourth down when you need to have someone to throw to, and John Gruden was talking about last night. Marlon Moore.
That's what I'm saying. Now give Marlon Moore $9 million, Ray Farmer. I guarantee you won't do that.
You make it sound like you can take the money. Haven't you ever had?
Because he gives it away like that.
Let me give you the corporate world speech on this. Ready? Now, these are different piles of money. There's Marlon Moore pile, and then there's Dwayne Bowe pile of money. And the money
Who's
from
giving you more?
You can't. Well, that doesn't matter because the money in this pile can't go to the money in this pile because we've already done our budgets for the year. Didn't you understand that? How'd that feel?
And listen, and this is why Ray Farmer will not have a job after this year.
Jackie, if you want to be on the show, you got to stand back here, by the way. Let's just keep talking about your.
It is not that cold, Jackie.
We got this Hirschman fella.
Hirschman?
Just give me a second. We gotta give it up.
What's up?
Okay, Howie, thank you. Howie,
Hey,
we love
thanks,
you. We'll talk to you
guys.
next week.
Have a great day.
You too. It's a Tuesday. We were all messed up here.
Sorry, Howie.
Thanks, Howie. We'll talk to you later.
Peace and blood.
How cold is it in that studio, Andy? My goodness.
Look at this.
I don't know. That's why I said it's not that cold, but you can't
Who's
tell
Hirschman?
Jackie that. It's cold in there.
Did you watch the game?
Yeah, I did. I didn't stay up there. I watched all the highlights, or what we'll call them low lights.
Oh,
Wow, that's like original programming right here.
you gotta do like this. Shots. She's taking shots.
So notice I had to get my own coffee.
I
because
yelled before I walked
You went
out.
to go get everybody on Dogs on the Run some coffee.
Okay,
Oh,
these
no.
are my
Except
teammates. Yes.
Me.
Well, listen, as I
got
walked
some
out of
grandmas.
the newsroom and said, would anyone like coffee? I yelled it pretty loud, didn't I, Randy? Did Pierre, you heard me yell it?
Yeah.
right?
I went like this, Andy, and you walked away.
It's okay.
All right, I'll go over there.
You can't, though. There's no camera over there
Oh,
today.
okay, okay.
Let me describe it. This is very
Who's he
very
talking
strange here.
to?
This gentleman here,
Yes.
Noah Hirschman.
Noah Hirschman. I know Noah.
He is
Keep going.
it says here,
Noah's reading. You want me to read this? Because I don't. Can we even hear your mic?
he is a.
Is your mic even on, Randy?
I think so. I pressed the button.
Here, wait, come here. Jackie's here. She's a professional reader.
Yeah.
Why don't you give this to Jackie? Jackie will come back, and she'll read this. Kenny, this is great stuff here.
He's a recent.
Best show I've ever been a part of.
A disposed fantasy commissioner who wants to apologize about something.
He does? Okay, wait a second. Is that on Skype 1 or is this the...
This is Skype 1.
So wait a second. So what's the email?
Nice dress, by the way, Jackie.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so Jackie's going to read this, and then we'll go to Skype 1 after that?
He's ready to go.
All right, well, first, do we need to set it up with the email?
There is
I
no
told
really
the
email.
gentleman he's disgraced and he wants to apologize about something.
Okay, go ahead.
right.
Here, first of all, we're going to let Jackie read this part.
Okay. He has prepared.
No,
a brief-
anchor voice. You got to get, like, real fake anchor
All right.
voice.
It is not a fake anchor voice. This is my normal voice, and
Sure
then
it
an
is.
anchor voice is 3 octaves below. 1, 2, 3. He wants to give you a brief formal apology that he will be ready to deliver. He wants to say sorry to you, Andy. Go.
To me, are
He's
we going to
laughing
Noah,
right
or
now.
what are we doing here? Noah?
Noah, go.
Noah?
Hey guys, am I on?
Noah, how are you?
What's going on?
Not much. How you guys doing today?
We're tired. I mean, we both got about 2 hours of sleep. The stream didn't work. But the only thing going for me is that I get to sit here with a former professional football player and the world's greatest anchor right next to me, too, and Jackie. So
You must be very tired.
I'm exhausted. All right, no, why are you apologizing?
Well, I was league commissioner, and I kind of manipulated the waiver wire in my favor, so I could pick up the obvious number one guy on the waivers that weekend, D'Angelo Williams.
Yes.
After my first round pick, Le'Veon Bell, went down.
Yeah.
So, if you don't mind, I'd like to read off an apology letter I have to the city of Cleveland and my fantasy league.
Okay, go ahead. Sure, why not?
All right. Good morning, and thank you, Dogs on the Run, for having me. My name is Noah Wavergate Hirschman. I stand before you today ashamed and repentant for my role in a scandal that has shocked my fantasy football league. I abused my power as commissioner to cut the waiver wire line and secure D'Angelo Williams for my all too ironically named team, Who Do You Think You Are? I Am. I would like to thank my family, friends, my league mates, and our league spectators everywhere for your patience, understanding, and support during my stay in the doghouse. The doctors and staff have been amazing. What I've learned in the last couple of weeks has been tremendous. I owe a private apology to a lot of people that I've disappointed, but a very public one to my league. I take full responsibility for my actions, but it's my intention to work very hard to regain everyone's trust and respect. I understand this will take time, and it'll only happen through what I do, not what I say. I look forward to monitoring my lineup that I've been forbidden to change and focusing on probably losing every game the rest of the season in my desire to be the best possible team owner, ex-commissioner, and man that I can be. I don't expect anyone to forgive me, and I hope these words can serve as the first of many steps in the right direction. Is it too late now to say sorry? Sincerely, who do you think you are? I am a cheat. I will now take any questions if you have them, Andy.
Okay, Noah, first of all, one, this has nothing to do with the game last night, so I'm kind of hesitant on the entire thing here. And two, I didn't really hear a sincere apology. Are you still in the league?
I am still in the league after a significant amount of backlashing from that.
Okay, two things. One, you should have to pay a fine to everybody else in your league for cheating.
Why?
And two, you should be out, man. There's no way you should. Are you even close to making the playoffs?
Yeah, I'll probably make the playoffs.
That's total BS. You
Why is he
cheated. You should be
apologizing?
out. What are you doing? Be a man. Be a real commissioner and be a man and say, I can't make the playoffs. DQ your own team. You
All right,
got
Anthony.
to.
There were a number of options thrown out there, and the league did take a vote, and that was one of them.
Yeah.
So they said I could either be kicked out of the league entirely. They said I could have to freeze my lineup the remainder of the year, and what happens, happens. And then they also said that nothing could happen, which wasn't the vote. Or if I won, then the league winnings would have to be passed on to the next year. And they ended up deciding that my lineup would be frozen for the rest of the year.
So your lineup is frozen, and if you win money, you can't win money this year, right?
Yeah, that rolls over to the
Can I
pot for
say
next
something?
year.
I'll buy that. Yes. What?
Why is he apologizing? I've tried to fix my league like 3 different times. You did nothing wrong.
Yeah, Randy's a cheater too, so it's cool.
Why are you apologizing?
Well, I have a conscience, and after the move happened, I felt pretty guilty about it.
All right, Noah, I'm glad that we could give you a platform for this morning, and if you need to apologize to anybody else, go ahead, and it's all good.
All right.
All right,
So
and
verdict
yeah, I
on
appreciate
Noah?
the time. And hey, the Browns, that was a disappointment last night. And I actually saw something on social media this morning that looked like the guy who returned that blocked field goal actually stepped out of bounds, which is a bummer. But you know what happens, happens.
It's the Browns, man. There's no rules. It's just like dogs on the run. Noah, thank you. What's going on over there?
You got
Thanks,
an
guys.
X.
Have a good Tuesday.
No, you got an X, buddy.
You got an X for doing it?
Once a cheater, always a cheater. What
I
else
got
is
the X.
cheating
Oh
on?
man.
Oh
That's
my
tough.
God, no, you're getting crushed. All right, Noah, we'll talk to you later. Are we moving on? Let's go back to.
A flurry of activity. Kenny Road would probably be the best course of action at this point. I would
What
think.
time is this show over today? By the way?
I don't know. This.
What time-
do you-
were
what
we
what do you want to
8:15?
do?
Is that what time we end? 8:15 or 8:30?
Well, here's the problem.
8:30 most.
What?
The first half hour of the show was fantastic. It wasn't on.
It was the best half hour of the show we've ever done.
Ever.
Kenny, let's play questions for Jackie. You got any questions for Jackie about the Browns game?
Yeah, I would like to ask Jackie if she was named
If you were
the
named
offensive coordinator, what type of offense would she run? Would she run the wishbone? Would she
you run a
run the
wishbone?
spread? Would she run the standard, NFL drop back offense? What type of
Pro-style
offense would she run?
What kind of offense would you run?
I would run a spread offense to spread it across the field.
Hold on.
Quality stuff.
We don't have a spread type of offense.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. These are the
Are
fantasy
you,
players.
okay.
All right, Jackie. You have a question for Jackie? It'll be your question. Go ahead, and then we're moving forward.
Then I'm gonna say
What
bye-bye.
type
All right,
what type
bye-bye.
of defense would you run?
Well, definitely the defense. Okay, for real. If I was gonna run a defense, seeing that last play, how did they let them go? They need to be spread out. They were clearly centered, right?
Zone. That's good.
On this note, I'm just gonna go. I just wanted to say hi.
Hi, Jackie.
We're
Thank
I
you.
gonna
wanted to
sit.
talk
We're gonna
about
sit
the
down
fan
and learn.
reaction.
and
Okay,
learn
go ahead.
some
Give me
football.
fan reaction this morning. What do you got
Okay,
for fan
what
reaction?
did you think of that guy ripping his jersey?
I didn't see it. Do we have this video or a shirt?
Yeah, let's play it.
It's not.
All right, listen. Here's what you do. Do we know where it is? It's on Bleacher Report. Is that where it is?
I'll do some digging.
Do you know where it is?
I'll
Is
reenact.
this the guy that had the Barkevius
Jackie's
Mingo
gonna rip
jersey
the
on and he
jersey
went
off.
Hulk
Go
Hogan?
Wait.
He went a la Hulk.
The
Hulk?
gentleman is
And another
Not
one.
Hulk. Sorry.
They're
hooked up.
watching the thing, the kick,
Yeah.
that debacle. The guy's got a brand new $100 Barkevius Mingo jersey, like goes Hulk Hogan on the thing.
Yes.
Just tears it to pieces.
Kenny, have you seen this video?
I have seen the video
You know,
of
where
it.
is it?
He struggled a little bit, but
all
that's
right.
because
I
his
don't know if
wasn't
he
cut like
struggled.
Hulk Hogan
Wait,
always
wait,
used to
wait,
do.
wait,
Hulk
wait,
had to
wait,
cut
wait,
his,
oh,
so he
let's
was
stand
able
by.
to,
Listen,
rip it easier.
Yeah, go to the Twitter feed. Hang on a second. I want to see
Let's
this.
see what. Hold on.
I tweeted it.
Oh, well, go to her Twitter feed then. Jackie, what's your Twitter handle?
Oh, it's Jackie Fern 5. I'll see you guys there on Twitter.
I
Jackie
am following
Fern
you.
5.
Okay. I'm following you.
All right.
Oprah.
All right, so let's punch up Twitter. I can do that if you
We
want.
got all these. Okay.
Jackie, why don't you do this? Hold on.
No?
This morning.
My Twitter feed's dead. Can we punch up? There we go. All right, there's Twitter.
Oh, here. Oh,
All right, here we go.
Play
All
it.
right.
Play it. Watch this.
This is
Andy.
fantastic.
All right. All right, so we're watching this video. Here's the play. In case you're listening and not watching, it's fine. We're seeing the final kick. We're seeing the run back.
Do you have volume?
Now there's a guy. He's in the
They-
dog pound, upper dog pound.
They think it's. Oh no.
He's not happy. Now he's walking.
like, "I'm outta here." This guy.
This guy, last row of the dog pound. Guy in front of him has
Look
fans
at
of his. This guy takes his jersey off, a little bit of struggle. Wow, he rips that thing in half.
He's so
Those are
angry.
pretty.
That's strong material.
Yeah, that is a strong material.
Let's play it again. Hold on. Let's play it again.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to play it again for you. Oh, this is riveting.
Do you think there is a number of times that you
It's-
can
it's okay,
keep
there's
seeing
no
this
sound.
play? I keep seeing it over and over again.
No, it'll never be. I would say if the game was meaningful, and Kenny, I'll get your opinion on this. If the game was meaningful, this would go down in Cleveland sports history as the drive, the fumble, the shot, Jose Mesa, and
She's like, no,
the
don't,
kick.
don't. She's like,
Is
no,
there-
don't
hold
rip it,
on
don't
a
rip
second.
it.
Let's go back to this
Sweetie,
guy.
I just
Don't,
bought you that.
don't tear it.
Is this
He
stage?
already
Hold
threw
on.
his hat down.
Where's his girl? I don't see his girl.
Hold on,
Right
go
there,
back.
right there.
She's like, no, don't rip
No,
it.
sweetie.
No, what are you doing?
Okay.
After he throw the hat down, though,
So that guy's pretty strong. Pierre, you are very strong. Do you think you could do that? Is
I'd
that
have
easy
ripped
to
that.
do?
I would have ripped it with ease.
What? That's strong material.
You would have gone Greg Pruitt tearaway jersey.
When you
that's
pissed
never
about
the same.
something like
Isn't it
that,
ripped already?
last play, yeah, easy.
There are other great videos here of fans taking
What,
selfies.
do you have anything else on your
Hey
timeline?
guys, and Jackie, do you think that replaces LeBron's jersey getting
Does that
burned now? We'll
replace
see
LeBron's
this
jersey
instead of
getting
LeBron's
burned?
jersey getting burned?
No.
No.
No? Okay.
No.
What kind
Although it was done by the same number of people, one.
To
Well,
me, they shouldn't
yeah.
even burnt his jerseys. That was just terrible.
It was one jersey. Let's just go through this. One jersey by a radio guy who turned to our camera guy and said, what do you think I should do here? He goes, I can't tell you what to do.
I would have kept it.
He said, you know what?
those
I'm
go
going to
for a
burn
long
this. He
time.
goes, go ahead, knock it out. If you want to burn it, burn it.
What
See,
kind of
I
fool
would've
buys a
kept
Barkevius Mingo jersey, though? Like, of all the jerseys you can pick
When
from,
he got drafted, you might think that was a
this
good
is a brand
jersey
new,
to
this is a
get.
high-quality orange.
Oh, no, that's a
might
new
be
jersey.
rich.
Yeah,
He
that's
was
Look, he's a good dude though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's not bad.
It's not, it's not him. I mean, he
Look at
got to
that
get
Hayden
put on the.
jersey.
What else? Hey, do we have any other pictures? Jackie, can you help him?
Stand
'Cause
by.
I know
I'll
it's
help
on
him.
your time. Thank you.
Thank you,
All right,
Jackie.
so Jackie's now.
Hey, Andy, how about the irony of this? Last night I was doing a trivia, Monday Night Football trivia
Yeah.
at Johnny Malloy's in Medina, and there was a Browns backers group there, and they were giving away prizes just by drawing names, and one of the things they gave away last night was an autographed Barkevius Mingo jersey.
Oh.
So I see that guy ripping his, and last night they were trying to give it away, and nobody seemed to really want it last night.
That's terrible, man.
All right, we got. We'll get some more of these pictures up here in a second, but I'm just curious. Where do we go from here, Kenny? Where do we go?
At least he's a
The
squeaky
Browns,
clean
towards
guy.
the first pick of the draft, you hope they lose the rest of the way. Remember my old at-bith slogan for the Cavaliers, another ping
Yeah,
pong ball
I
in the
thought about
hopper?
that on the way home
Well,
last
it
night.
paid dividends for the Cavaliers. The Browns need to make sure they don't screw this up, lose the rest of their games, bring in a new GM, and have him, be able to go out and put a scouting staff together and benefit from having the first overall pick in the draft in each and every round.
All right, what about Mike Pettin?
So long. See ya. I've seen enough of Mike Pettin. I was willing at the beginning of the season to say, hey, give him an extra year no matter what happens. I look at Mike Pettin, and to me, he looks like a guy that he's a great coordinator, and we've seen this before, Romeo Crennel and Pat Shermer on offense, but as a head coach, it just doesn't work. So I'm done with Mike Pettin. I'd get rid of everybody and start from scratch again.
All right, Pierre, what's the danger of starting from scratch again? Is there a danger, or do they just need to do it?
It's a huge danger. I mean, at the end of the day, because players, they don't feel secure. You got to learn new plays, different philosophies, different terminology.
Yeah, but this philosophy and these plays suck. I mean, he's supposed to be a defensive-minded head coach, and they've given up 30 points in 4 straight games and in 7 out of 11 games this year. That's supposed to be his forte.
Kenny, I agree. I mean, by all means, I do agree. But, you got to change everything up once again. One thing I'll say is just put Mingo at safety. Please, do that. Just put him at safety.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
I mean, I know it's not
I mean,
gonna
I hear
happen,
you talking about
but
it. That's
I mean,
just not going to happen.
It's okay. He hasn't done nothing wrong. He don't go out in the clubs and
Is
be
the
taking
stream
pictures.
down again?
He don't do all that. You know
Is
what I'm
it?
saying? But everybody else gets in trouble, and I don't even know. I was. Somebody asked me, "Is Josh Gordon coming back?" I said, "If that man come back here, it's going to be more problems." Because him and
He
Johnny
was
together.
tweeting last night. I saw he tweeted a few things last night, so he's watching the games. I know that
I
much.
mean, that's good. He's watching, but he should be playing. Sheesh.
Yeah, but he should be playing on the field instead of playing off the field. If he
That's
wasn't,
what I'm talking about.
playing off the field with his boys and everything, then he'd be on the
Exactly.
field with the Browns.
Well, see, he's like George. He likes to stroke Snowy and JoJo.
All right, final thoughts. Let's
One
get
thing,
off
can we
here.
just something real quick?
What?
Can we get the Twitter feed up real quick? I want your thoughts on this.
All right, go ahead.
Where is it?
We're watching somebody's.
Oh, no, you're.
Oh, the halftime show. This was a good. Kenny, last night they had hovercrafts, or they had
Okay.
one hover. I forget what the name of the golf course. There's a golf course that you can get a golf cart that goes over water on a hovercraft. They're awesome. They're really cool. And they had one, but yesterday it was weird. Last year when they did this, it was awesome. They had 2 hovercrafts and they had races, and they had to go around these pylons, and whoever came back and won. Last night they did it with the hovercraft, and then the hovercraft ran an obstacle course. Somebody got out of the hovercraft, and they had to put on a uniform and then come back, and it was for time. So I think those things are pretty cool, though, don't you? Randy, don't you think they're cool?
I would love to have one.
Well, what's the problem?
That's kind of lame.
That it was lame that they did this? When they did the race last year, it was cool because they had 2 of them, but they only had 1 this year. I don't know. They tried to do something a little bit different. Trust me, the least of our worries for this football team is a freaking hovercraft at halftime. I actually thought that it's a cool idea in theory. They just needed a little bit different execution last night. That's all.
Glad to see that Alex Shiner is really, working hard to try and entertain people at halftime with the wiener dog races and hovercrafts. Great
I
job.
love the wiener dog races. I love the wiener
Put a
dog.
winning product on the field. Don't give me all this, don't try and dress the stadium up, dress the players up in 9 different combination of uniforms and all that. Put a winning team on the field. I don't even need all this other crap.
I think they need to go back to the old uniforms and just be the old Browns and play with more heart and more pride. And I really don't know no more. It's hard to even talk about this.
All right, so final thought then, Kenny?
Final thoughts, special teams let them down big time. I start Austin Davis next week against the Cincinnati Bengals, and you hope, and as painful as it might be, you hope they lose every game and get the first pick, bring in a new front office, and hope that they can turn this thing around.
Pierre?
My final thoughts, I don't want a whole new front office, just some. But, that way they can have some type of cohesiveness within the front office. But I doubt it. I don't want to lose all the games, but you might as well. We ain't going 0-16 like the Detroit Lions did back in the day. So go ahead, keep losing. They're going to get paid regardless anyway.
Yeah, my final thought here is that I think we know what Johnny Manziel is. I think Johnny's kind of exciting. But Austin Davis looked like an NFL quarterback in limited time yesterday. Yeah, he made some rookie mistakes yesterday. A guy that, the thing I liked about when he slid out of bounds, there was really nothing I liked about it, but he went back and explained it after the game why he did it. He was thinking ahead. He was thinking ahead to the next step, and he was trying to give the coach the ability to control the clock, knowing that they had 2 timeouts and that they could either call timeout and then. I actually liked his excuse yesterday for it. He said, in retrospect, I should have just got out of bounds and we could have worried about it from there. But he tried to stay in bounds because he wanted to let the clock run. But whatever. The end of it was a fiasco. It doesn't matter. I'm intrigued. I'm a little bit intrigued by him.
Good situational football player.
Yeah. All right, Kenny, what do you got? Anything? Plugs.
I'm sure we'll be talking about this all day long on my show from 3 to 6:30, WHBC, 1480 AM in Canton, WHBC.com. We'll get into that, and then we're going to wait and see what happens with the college football playoff system. The Buckeyes screwed themselves up. They have nobody to blame but themselves, but they're hoping and praying that they get a chance to get back in it, but I doubt it. Probably end up going to the Rose Bowl. We'll get into that. And then the high school football playoffs are this weekend down in Columbus. Should be a lot of fun, and looking forward to our 2 Stark County teams, Perry and Canton Central Catholic, hoping winning state championships.
All right, very nice. Pierre, anything you need to plug?
No plugs.
All right, Randy, horrible job filling in today for Eric the referee as well.
As always.
Thanks for even coming this morning. All right, that's it. That's Dogs on the Run. We'll see you.
See you guys.